Hey YouTube, Brian, LCS. Thanks for stopping by the channel. And this video, are all comic books worth money? The answer is no. I realize this is kind of a clickbait title, but it's a topic I wanted to discuss. If you were a collector of comic books, you know this, right? You know that not all comic books are worth money. There are certain books that are keys and have more value than others. And, most books are just, dollar books, $2 books, not, books that you can retire on. But your average person who doesn't collect comic books has no idea, right? They see the headlines where certain books sell for millions. And so, they think that the books that they have are worth that. But that doesn't mean that all comic books sell for that. So let's take a look at, take a look at some of these headlines. That is really what the average person sees. And so they think, well, I'm sitting on a gold mine. But as a collector of comic books, you acquire a certain level of knowledge over the years, right? Being active in the hobby, you use price guides, we use eBay. We're out hunting for books, and so we're looking at what their value is. Is it overvalued before we pay for something? We're constantly doing this research to stay on top of values of comic books so that we don't overpay for them. But your average non-collector, doesn't have this knowledge. They don't have this information. And I had some recent firsthand experience with non-collectors, thinking they were sitting on a pile of money with some old comic books. As a collector, I look to acquire comic books or collections because maybe I can add some of those books to my PC, or maybe I can flip them, sell them to make a profit and be able to use that profit to reinvest into the books that I'm looking for. And so I leverage Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace to occasionally buy books and collections. I have probably bought over the last 4 years, probably 3 or 4 big collections. Several long boxes, short boxes. Paid several $100s for them, and was able to go through and cherry pick some of the books that I wanted to keep, and then sell the remaining to be able to, like I said, reinvest into books that I was looking for. Like I said, I keep ads on both Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace offering cash for comic books. And now recently I've had a number of people reach out to me with books. So let's take a look at I have some photos. We'll take a look at some of the photos of some of the books that people offered me. So as you can see, there were really no big key issues in any of those photos. Most of the books were, maybe $2, $3 books at best. I mean, depending on the condition, there was a couple books there that were really mangled. Looked like there was that one book that looked like somebody's dog chewed on the corner of it for a while there. So, and here is a direct quote from one of these potential sellers of these books. This is what he typed to me in an email. So you can see that's not just because a book is older or it was stored properly in a bag and a board doesn't mean it actually has value. So my recommendation is for anybody out there trying to sell any type of collectible is to do your research, right? Do your research. There are plenty of online tools. eBay is a fantastic tool to be able to look at last sold, just to give you an idea of what the market is paying for your collectible, whether it's a comic book, whether it's a card, whether it's a stamp, whether it's a coin, whatever it is, toys, whatever you may be collecting. eBay is probably the quickest way. You can just do a search on the item and see what it's going for or what it's sold for previously. So, just do a little bit of your homework if you're not in the hobby and looking to get an idea of what something may be worth, before you go out, because I think a lot of the people that had contacted me and I gave them some information, they were a little taken back by the fact that the books that they had were not worth any money. I did mention to them to maybe try like a place like a Second and Charles who buys books. Maybe they could get a couple dollars for the books that they had, and potentially maybe use that money to buy something else or just collect the cash. Who knows? But I was trying to give them some options other than myself, because I just, like I said, I wasn't interested in any of the books that they had offered. But that's what I got for you. Let me know. What do you think about this topic? Have you have you ever leveraged Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, or any of the other apps out there to try to purchase collections? And what has been your experience? Do you find non-collectors really overvaluing the things that they have? But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the topic. It was just a reminder for me, a recent example of some people trying to sell some books that were just really not worth any money. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the comments.